Good afternoon, happy Friday, and happy March 1st. Well, here again for a monthly small business numerology forecast, as promised. And feeling a little, for myself personally, I just got back from vacation really late last night, so I almost feel like a little bit hungover, when you're really tired. But even though I've had like 4 hours sleep, I am so excited to get on here and talk about the forecast for March and to help you understand how to use the energetics of the energy this month in order to actually, take action and create tangible change in your business. It's one thing to have to understand energy, to understand business, but how do you put them actually together? And that's what I'm here for you to do. Okay, so last month, February, was a one energy month. And I don't know about you, but I felt it in a lot of ways. If you saw the February forecast, the one energy was all about kind of like fresh starts, new beginnings, kind of like that visioning, stargazing kind of energy. And it's also the one energy was about like taking a step forward, taking action. The low energy would have been like getting stuck, not feeling very visionary, not moving forward, not feeling very independent, and not feeling like you're a great leader. That would be kind of low side of two, or sorry, low side of one. Now, what I find really interesting, and I want to share with you, is that with numerology, you know, it really is about the energetics of the number 1 to 9. If you haven't been here before, I just wanted to explain a little bit more. And because February was a one energy month, we're naturally going into March as a two energy, and we will follow along in the following months up to 9. And so what this actually is, it's like a manifestation cycle. And so what I'm helping you to understand is that there are practical, tactical steps you can take, mindsets that you can imbue and embody for yourself, and have this manifestation cycle turn into something rather than it just be a wishing thing. So I haven't actually done a Facebook Live for, wow, a long time. So I was a little rusty getting back on here. I thought I could do both Facebook and YouTube at the same time via Zoom, but I realized I need a third-party app for that, and I will maybe do that next time. But for now, I just wanted to get started and bring you this information. So let me know if you're catching it live. Or in the replay. I forgot my phone in my bedroom, so I can't even see who is on live, and I can't see the chat. So my apologies if you have commented and I can't see anything. So let's get into March. March is a two energy month. So we're going to be talking all about what this two energy means. And what I find also really cool about it is that it's going to be like kind of an extra powerful month for us, because when you look at 2024, which is an 8 energy month, you add up the 2 plus the 2 plus the 4, you've got double twos in the year. So whenever you see, repeating twos happening, it means that there is like an amplification of the two energy, or if you see repeating numbers of any number, it means that there's an amplification. So what this is, giving us the heads up about is that March is, as far as being a two energy in an 8 energy year, it's going to be potent and very powerful for us. And the whole point of me becoming a certified numerologist and blending it into small businesses, particularly wellness and spa, is that so we can, use those energetics to show up in our business very mindfully. All right, let's talk about the two energy. So the two energy is all about connection, collaboration, balance, intuition. And I want to, there's always the high vibration, and then there's a low vibration. So the high vibration of the two, when it shows up, you'll notice it looking like the connection, the collaboration, balance, right? Bridging the gap, reaching a hand out, to help somebody or somebody helping you. It's a cooperative spirit. It's partnerships. This is a great month for partnerships. It's also, about being able to, in that connection energy, whether it's with clients or with your staff or at home with your friends, with your family, it's about being able to really recognize and see everybody's unique gifts. Two is also has the energy of persuasion. Now, I know that sometimes as being in the spa industry, the word persuasion might feel kind of icky, but it doesn't have to be, and it doesn't need to show up as icky, particularly if you are showing up in the spirit of connection and collaboration and really genuinely wanting to help. So don't think of persuasion as a dirty word. Think of it as that you really understand what you know in your spa business as far as whatever the services that you provide, and being able to persuade this person, this client in front of you, what you understand so that they value it too. So that's really the art of persuasion, is having them value what you're valuing. Two energy is consideration and thoughtfulness, and I know that in our industry we don't have any lack of that usually. And the other piece of it, a two energy, is intuition. That's a huge part of the number two energy. So when we are looking at two energy, we're not just looking at the month of March being the two, but if you have two energy in your birth date, this is going to be amplified for you as well. So how do you figure out, so if you've got two in your birth dates, like me, you just look at your date, month, and year. If you've got twos in there, that's going to amplify this two energy month for you. And as well as if you know your leadership code or your ruling number. If you are a 2 or an 11, this will also be a really big month for you. So if you don't know how to figure out your ruling number or your leadership code, as I refer to it, you simply add up the digits of your birth date. So, if my birthday is June 22nd, 71, I would add up 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 1. And it comes up to 28, and then we reduce it again, and I'm a ruling number 10. However, because I was born on the 22nd of the month, I've got two twos, so I'm doubling up already. 22 is a master builder number. I should probably talk about that another time, but it's a very, if you have 22 in your birth date, or you have double two showing up in your chart, that master builder number, generally means that you are very strong at creating structure and foundation and systems. It's that 2 plus 2 is 4, but you also have a very deep and strong intuition. So the two energy is fascinating, and I feel like a lot of the spa industry, shows up with a lot of two energy anyways. So the high vibration of that, like the list that I just went through, is something that all of those things we want to, try to stay in that high vibration while we're at work and during our, with our personal relationships as well. However, we live in a world of duality. That is just it's just how we live on this planet. It's kind of black and white, and it's good and bad. And it really, all it is because we as humans have free choice. And so living in this world of duality can be very, very challenging. And so the low vibration of 2, I want to go through this list with you because it's really critical to be able to catch ourselves, or even other people, not in a sense to like point it out and say, you're in the low vibe of a 2, but more to recognize if you are trying to deal with somebody who is really in the low vibe of 2. When we recognize that, it takes the punch out of it for us. It takes the like, oh, why are they being such a jerk? Or why are they not understanding? Or why are, Why is this why are they relating to me or other people this way? When we understand, oh wow, they're really in the low vibration of that, it takes away the judgment of it and allows us to just be more, we can deal with it in a different, more healthy way. Okay, let's talk about low vibe too. So, if the high vibration is about balance and collaboration, coming together, if we think about in tarot, if you follow tarot, the card of the major arcana is the lovers. They're coming together. If you put two twos together, they kind of form a heart. But the opposite of that would be, lack of balance, black and white thinking. This comes up a lot with people, not just in our businesses, with our staff or with clients. It's really frustrating when we're trying to, deal with conflict or uncomfortable situations. And either we are slipping into black and white thinking. It's like, it's this or it's that, there's no gray area. It can be very challenging to try to work through a situation. So that black and white thinking is very low vibration with that. Giving to the point of resentment. I think that all of us can relate to that, especially in the spa industry or wellness professions or in service-based industry. So easy for us to give. And those of us that are in it, we love it. This is why we're here. We want to give. We want to collaborate, connect, and genuinely, be with people in a heart space. But if we feel like we're giving without getting our needs met, eventually we start feeling like we're resentful of it. And I've seen this show up in spa owners a lot. And that's why they end up coming to me like, what do I need to do? I have to fix this because I can't even stand my business anymore. Most of my team are driving me crazy. I am not having any fun, and I don't feel joyful whatsoever. And I've lost really why I want to do this to begin with. So it's so important that we don't allow ourselves to give to that point of resentment, because it can absolutely poison the well. Being overly independent. Now, last year being a one energy month, that was all about independence. Think of the number one, how it just stands up. It's, stands up straight, almost like a rocket ready to go, right? With the two energy, it's an invitation. We have that independence, but the two energy is inviting us to now collaborate and share our energy to expand this thing, whatever you're doing, your business, right? But if you are overly independent, that can really jam you up when you feel like you have to do everything yourself. And I get it, especially as a mom and a partner and a business person and all of things, when you feel like you kind of, I have to do everything myself, it can turn into, I will just do everything myself because it's easier. And yet that causes its own problems, like giving to the point of resentment. So being overly dependent is on the low vibration of a two. So that might be something that you can catch yourself on this month. Feeling underappreciated or underacknowledged. Now, if you, I think this can shows up for yourself as well. I mean, if you are feeling underappreciated and underacknowledged, absolutely. But if you have a team, and with your clients, you may even see this. If you have a team that's feeling underappreciated or underacknowledged, when was the last time that you made an effort to really like give one of your team members a shout out? Hey Holly, I see you there. Thanks for watching. When was the last time you gave them a shout out? Or when was the last time, you just kind of shared how appreciative you were of your team? Maybe you bought everybody, coffees for the day. But that kind of appreciation goes a long way. Even kind of, I know it's been a while since I've had a spa team, but I remember I would give them almost like little love notes, like just what I appreciated about them. And that can be something fun that the team can do with each other, just kind of like, random acts of kindness. My husband and I actually do this for each other, and we'll just send each other a text every once in a while, and we just say random love. and it with a little heart or whatever emoji. And it's just to let each other know, we're busy in our day doing what we're doing, but we happen to be thinking about them, and it always feels really good for us. And I think that, we can easily do that for when we work with our teams. Now, how does this show up for our clients? If they're maybe feeling underappreciated, are you doing any kind of client appreciation? Now, it doesn't mean you have to do a huge client appreciation event. I'm talking about the little things that you can do this month to show your clients that you really appreciate them. Maybe for your top clients, you give them a little extra, maybe it's a paraffin hand treatment as a little thank you, you know, no reason. I just wanted to give it to you. Or maybe a little an added eye treatment, something that doesn't really cost you a lot of money, but it's goodwill, and it's just kind of giving into that energetic bank. Another low vibration of 2 is being dependent on validation. Now, this is challenging because, especially in the spa industry, like there's no spa business school, right? There are more and more online trainings, but when we got our aesthetics license, the business training in it was absolutely abysmal. It was tiny, tiny, not enough to allow us to feel, confident in our business as confident business leaders. And I have lost track, my friends, of how many spa owners have come to me, and when we start talking, they tell me that they feel like they're not a good business person, like that they're not smart. And what has been happening is that they've been dependent on getting their validation of their business ideas from other people, and not necessarily people who really understand the spa industry or understand their entrepreneurial spirit or understand their passion for giving to their community. And so when we aren't feeling confident in our business, it can be really easy to depend on like outside validation for kind of what we're doing. And so with that, I invite you to do make sure that who you're inviting into your business to support you, that that they understand what you're doing, and that you're not taking advice from people that don't understand the industry, or they don't understand your passion for how this can actually work. Another piece of the low vibration of 2 is unable to take responsibility, where the 1 energy is all like responsibility, let's go. I'm going to dot my I's and cross my T's, and let's get started. The 2 energy is like abdicating responsibility, like just dumping it. Whereas as a spa leader or a spa CEO, as you move into a stronger leadership role, you will need to start collaborating with people to help you with your business. You cannot do this on your own and grow the size that you want. Even solos who are, maxed out in their time, there's still usually lots of room for growth without having to build a team or, do an online business. So, understanding that in your leadership, you will need to delegate, but it's not abdicate. And the difference is delegating is keeping your eye on what you've been telling other people to do, rather than just dumping it on them, turning away and focusing completely on something else and expecting what you've abdicated, to all go tickety-boo. Because as the leader in your business, you need to have your fingers in the pots somewhat. Otherwise, how do you know if everything is running smoothly? You need to check up on it. You need to make sure that those who are holding others accountable are being accountable for themselves, right? Let's see. The last one here I have for low vibration of a 2 is a little bit, it's kind of tied into that giving to the point of resentment, and it's responding critically or passive aggressively when your needs aren't being met. I do see this showing up in spa owners that have come to me for coaching. Some have left it a really long time that they've been struggling and they've been feeling resentment, and they're actually starting to get kind of cranky at their team, and their team's noticing it. And that's a scary place to be with a team, because in a, in the employment or the employee employer situation right now, it's really tough to find and keep employees. They're really not willing to put up with a lot of crap from the owner. So if you're feeling frustrated about things, if it's showing up as, kind of responding critically to somebody on your team, and snapping at them, or being passive aggressive, or maybe you are even seeing this happening amongst your team members, recognize that they are in the low vibration of 2. Somewhere their needs are not being met, and they're getting cranky about it, and they don't obviously know how to deal with it in a healthy way. Okay, so that's the high and the low vibration of 2 energy for your business, and just really how to recognize it in your business as well as your own personal life. It's so powerful. Just this recognition piece is incredible. So last month with the 1 energy, it's all about fresh starts, kind of keeping it simple. The downside, or the low side of that 1, was complication. And about a week into February, I was working on a new opt-in, and I was, all of a sudden, my tech was getting really complicated. And tech support, like I had 2 pieces that were pointing fingers at each other, that, and it was starting to get more complicated. And I was getting more and more cranky, until I realized, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, the low vibration of 2 is stuckness. And so I realized I got to ditch both of these pieces of tech. I got to pivot to something more simple. It's not exactly how I wanted it to be and how I envisioned it to be, but I got that opt-in pretty much almost finished. I had it tested out with some of my colleagues. And next week I've got the finishing touches. I've just been away for 10 days. So, but the point I'm trying to make is that I was able to quickly recognize I was in the low vibration. The situation was in the low vibration of the 1, and I could look at the opposite, the high vibration, and pivot on that and keep myself moving, rather than beating my head against the wall, trying to make this tech work, trying to talk to these 2 companies, tech supports. No. It could have gone on for probably a couple more months, and each tech piece was costing me hundreds of dollars. So, which was making me even crankier. So that is I'm sharing that story with you to say it allows you to pick up, when things are going a little sideways, and the course correct really quickly, rather than kind of wallowing in this, like, this is so frustrating. That's just energy that's wasted. I want to move forward. Okay, so this forecast, I want to add another piece to it, and that is your Spa CEO Power Days for the month. And what this is that there's certain days this month that have the energetics for you to really take advantage of some opportunities. Now, how this works is that every day has a date energy. So I've got my calendar here. I just use like an old calendar, and I write on each square what the energy of the day is. So today is a 3 energy day, and how we come to that is we add up March, so that's 3. We add 1, today's the 1st, 1, and then we add the 2 and the 2 and the 4 for 2024. So that all adds up to a 3 energy day. Now, this month, there are 3 portals, energetic portals, that are going to be super powerful for you. Like, when I was looking at this, I was like, whoa, like these are crazy big, powerful. Not only is it because the 2 energy is lining up with, mostly it's the 2 energy is lining up with lunar and celestial events this month. So there's magnification happening. So you've got the energetics of the number, then you have the energetics of the moon, and then you also have the energetics of the equinox that's coming up in March. All right, so you can write this down, or I actually have created for you a little monthly prep. I call it Spa Business Energetic Monthly Prep for you. And if you would like a copy of it, it's essentially the forecast here in kind of bullet form for you. You can DM me to Energy, and I will DM it back to you. It's a PDF, and print it out. Keep it keep it in your office or wherever you do your paperwork. Because honestly, the stuff. Because sometimes when you're like, oh, I'm frustrated, or ooh, how can I take advantage? When you have this right in front of you, it's like little notes to get you started on it. Okay, so the first portal is from March 9th to 11th. And I'm calling it the New Moon Collaborative Creative Portal. And this is because it's the new moon. The new moon is like the kind of beginning. It's the growth, right? It's coming into the growth. And this is a really great time to connect with somebody creatively to strategize new sales and marketing ideas. So the reason why it's a super powerful, kind of creative, collaborative few days is because it's a 2 energy day on the 9th, and on the 10th it's a 3 energy day, which is all about amplified creativity. And the 10th is a new moon. So you have these energies all happening at the same time on those 2 days. So that would be a fantastic day, couple of days to get started on working on your Mother's Day promotions as well as your early summer features. Like I'm not saying promotions in terms of specials. I'm just meaning, what is going to be presented to your clients at that time. So using the March to 11th creative portal with somebody. So if you have an SD bestie, you guys book some time on Zoom and get together and do it together if you guys don't live in the same city. If you want to, it's going to be on the weekends. So I don't work on the weekends, but I was going to say, if you want to meet with me on the 11th for a coaching call, you actually almost get bonus energy points because the Monday is a 4 energy day. So if you're using the Saturday and the Sunday to do some creative connection to create these marketing and sales strategies, you could work with me on the Monday and we could like ground it into actual like a structure that you can get moving on. So that's how you use these kinds of energies. Okay, the next one is, the next portal is the equinox, and I'm calling the seeding structure portal. So that's March 18th and 19th. Those are really great days. Again, connect and collaborate. The 2 energy, this is about doing it with somebody. And, when we work with, another SD bestie or a spa owner friend, or even just an entrepreneur friend to like bounce ideas off of, like, hey, what do you think of this? The creative juices are just so much more rich, right? So the 18th and 19th of March, the 18th is a 2 energy day, the 19th is a 3 energy day, and the 20th is a 4 energy day. And the 19th is the equinox. So, the equinox being, excuse me, about like seeding, seeding our, what we want to create. So these days are another portal. And this particular portal, I would recommend actually creating systems and structures around your team, client care, and your sales systems, okay? All right, the third kind of dates to watch for March is March 25th and 26th. The 25th is a full moon. It's also a 9 energy day. So this is super interesting when I looked at this. So a 9 energy is all about letting go, releasing. It's like graduation day because you've gone through 1 through 9 and you figured out a few things. But 9 particularly is about letting things go. And as well as not just like letting things go willy-nilly, but letting things go that will support your integrity or that stand for your integrity. So I'm calling this the release and renewal portal because so it's a full moon on the 9th, or sorry, full moon on the 25th. 9 energy day. So it's a perfect day to think about. I really want you to identify one thing in your business that if you were to release it, it would open up new opportunities for you. Sometimes we get scared to let things go and we hold on to them longer than we should. Yep, me too. So that's why this is such a potent time, particularly with the full moon, because we all know like the full moon's about releasing. We hear all about it. The hospitals are crazy, the police forces are busy, like people are going nuts. It's just like this big release of energy. So layer that up with a 9 energy day of releasing. It is a perfect setup for you to just take a moment or moments. Maybe you need to journal it out. Maybe you need to really think about this. What is the one thing that if I released and let go of, it would actually let me move forward more quickly into something else that's more aligned, more joyful, more purposeful, that would give you more abundance. A lot of times we have to let go of something, even energetically, before that piece that we're manifesting can come. So take some time on Monday the 25th and Tuesday the 26th for the Monday to release, and the Tuesday, being a 1 energy day, is like the fresh starts, the new beginnings. So if on the Monday you've been able to identify that one thing that you want to release and let go of your business, use the Tuesday to start seeding ideas about what is coming next. You don't have to figure it all out. Use this as an opportunity for letting go and getting started. Okay. I often, when I was first getting started, listening to my numerologist, Megan Alton, from Practical, she's actually starting a course. I think today's the last day actually. She's has been launching her Practical Numerology certification. But before I took my certification with her, I followed her for years and years. And I would literally take my calendar during her forecast and write on my calendar the days that she recommended, and the actions that she recommended doing. And honestly, it helped me immensely. At the time, it was more my own personal life and myself in terms of recovery from a couple of really traumatic couple of years. But I've been still doing it more for business in the past year and a bit, and it's been so impactful. So yeah, I definitely recommend that you write them in your calendar. But for sure, use my worksheet here for you. Put it on your wall wherever you can see it this month, and I'm going to make one every month for you. Okay, so I want to leave you with one thing, and that is your March energy sales tip. So what I recommend, so if the 2 energy is about connection and collaboration, bridging the gap of information, right? Helping somebody, reaching a hand across, here, I'll help you, come with me. We do that naturally in the spa industry. However, sometimes, especially with our existing clients, we forget our purpose, that particular purpose in bridging the gap. And we tend to kind of fall into talking about personal conversations, and then we get and the next thing you know, you're at the end of the treatment and you haven't really talked about anything, in terms of skin or waxing or whatever it is that you do. And then there's no opportunity to talk about home care, and you probably also forgot to pre-book her. So using the 2 energy of collaboration and connection and bridging the gap and aligned and integral persuasion, okay, and thoughtfulness. When we're talking about sales, when in the spa industry, it really comes from a place of thoughtfulness. So I invite you this month to really pay attention when your client comes in, new or existing, but the biggest piece here I find is for existing clients, is to approach the conversation a little bit differently. Now, in spa terms, we call it, the consultation. And, we should be doing a consultation with our existing clients before we get started with their treatment anyways. But a lot of times it gets forgotten because we're so comfortable with each other. So remember, your existing clients already know, like, and trust you. So if we can start the service with conversations that are more about their needs, like, how was your last facial? How was your skin been? Any, bringing up, going through her file from previous and, checking in how, you were really concerned with some breakouts last time. How'd they clear up? Has any come back? It gives you the opportunity to have those conversations about, retail and future services. And when they're an existing client, because they know, like, and trust you, they're far more ready to buy than a new client is. Those clients are a little bit harder sometimes. So the invitation is to have these conversations, the consultations that are more about their needs, serving them to reach their skin or wellness goals. So that when it comes time at the end of the treatment, you can bring up those topics of product sales and future treatments, and they come across as genuine because they are. And your client, especially in this 2 energy month, because it's a universal 2 energy, everybody's going to be feeling it. They will feel that energy between you, and there's a better opportunity for you to help them with their skin and wellness concerns, and for you to earn more in your spa business. It's really all about, like, I know it's really all about making a genuine difference in your clients' lives, and yet we still need to run a business. And this is the balance of being able to feel that connection, the collaboration. I really actually didn't talk too much about intuition. Please let me talk about that. Just pop that in for a second. Because the 2 energy is also so much about intuition, this is also a place where we as spa professionals can start trusting our intuition and using it more. The more you use it, the more you use it, the more you trust it. The more you trust it, the more you use it. So it's like this positive feedback loop. So when you have these sales conversations, you can imbue your intuition in that. And that is picking up on how they are feeling, and being able to, communicate with them in a sales conversation without, it feeling awkward. And with that is, one of my favorite things to do is to actually talk about the client objections. So if I'm feeling like, if I'm kind of sensing from a client, like, oh, I don't know, I can use that opportunity to say, oh, you know what? It's okay. If you're unsure, I totally understand. Your skincare routine, your prescription is going to be on your file, and it's going to be here for you whenever you need it. So, we can use our intuition to, pick up on our clients, what they need, as well, but without having to compromise our sales conversations and our sales opportunities as well. I know intuition is such a big piece for us in the spa and wellness industry. We are full of feels, and a lot of us have that deep intuitive knowing that we've been able to cultivate. And my wish is that we can use that cultivation as a business strategy as well. All right, my friends, I'm curious if you caught last month's forecast, if you happen to have any situations that came up for you that you wanted to share. I would love to hear about them. And of course, if you would, like I said, if you want to have a copy of my Spa Business Energetic Monthly Prep worksheet, then please DM me and I'm happy to send you off a copy. All right, that's it for me. Thanks so much for joining me on, this is kind of like the Spa Business Mastery podcast, but I did it on Facebook Live. And I'll have this up on the podcast and on the blog and out to you via email in a couple days. Thanks so much for joining me.